Right, yeah. What I've been explaining about in these videos, and what I'm going to talk about now, is how the King of England is a different person and institution to the one who wears the crown and sits on the throne. That's a ceremonial monarchy. They're not legally entitled to call themselves the royal family, for a start. They're not the royal family, and they don't legally hold any legitimate or lawful titles such as Queen or Duke or any of that. That is just made up ceremonial things, just like any guy could go down the street and call himself the King or the Queen. The King of England is a descendant of King William IV and Queen Adelaide, and it's been that way since 1837. Uh, Queen Victoria put the baby at the Tower of London and said she'd do it as a temporary job until the baby grew up. And when the baby grew up, she pretended he didn't exist anymore, and he had to abdicate to get out of the Tower of London and promise never to claim the throne. And okay, his descendants have never made such a promise. Okay, so the king has always been a police officer descended from King William IV and Queen Adelaide, and it's been that way because then after Queen Victoria there was Edward VII. You see, now he is the gypsy, Jack the Ripper. And what happened there was that Victorian women didn't sunbathe or whatever, didn't get enough vitamin D, couldn't have babies. You see, Queen Victoria couldn't have babies, she was barren. So what they had to do is get Prince Albert to impregnate a Romanian gypsy surrogate. Now, the descendants of Queen Victoria's eldest daughter, Princess Vicky, all say that none of the rest of the descendants of Queen Victoria are her real children, that they're all adopted surrogates using the Romanian gypsy, and that's why the King of Spain keeps trying to claim the throne. I mean, I've been told that before, that they use me to stop the King of Spain claiming the throne. Well, I already am the king. I can claim the throne anytime I want to, and oblige Elizabeth Windsor to give me the crown and the throne, and legally she'd have to do it. Because she's only a ceremonial queen, I issue a warrant for her to serve me as a ceremonial proxy. I issue the master bond for sterling, and the repayments should be coming to me, but they're not, and that is a problem. Okay, and that's going to have to stop. The repayments are going to have to be made personally to me and no one else at all, because it's my job to enforce the law, and that money is being spent on criminal activities. Inspector Dewi Williams is spending it on liars to make false accusations against me, you see. I'm finding it impossible to enforce the law. Now, this is how the kings of England have always got around it, is join the police. Because then you're in uniform and you can make your... I've got the legal authority to make the arrests as king anyway, but people just start fighting with you see, and then when you get to the police station, no one will cooperate with you see. So that's how they all got round it. But Terry wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to be an engineer. So, and of course you can't do the Mr. Jones and the pigs on Animal Farm analogy if you're in the police yourself, because you're one of the pigs. Okay? So, so there it is. So the way I get around that is that I still solve the crimes. You know, I solved the murder of Lady Diana. It was Sergeant Julian Bennett, who grew up in Penawern, Llanelli, 6'2" tall, black hair, who delivered the fatal karate punch to Lady Diana's head in the tunnel. See? Seconds after the car crash, which was done using the Boston Brakes microchip. And it was Chief Inspector Kieran Cosgrove, the fat man with the black wavy hair that was waving to Henry Paul on the night of the crash at the rear of the Ritz Hotel, who bribed Henry Paul. That's Agent Y. See, Agent Y and Agent O for O-ring, as you know. So those two men are the murderers of Lady Diana. That's one crime solved. You know, but another one, you would Terry Blair, Tony Blair's cousin, the man who shot Jill Danda, was another crime solved. So I can solve the crimes, but as far as going and making the arrests and prosecuting the charges, well, basically I'm just being physically overpowered by brute force of the criminal Windsor regime, you see? So we can't have any law enforcement, we're having crime enforcement and mentally ill ideas about how they've got a divine right. They have no legal authority whatsoever, nothing. Nothing. No legal authority, ceremonial. Lift the flag, lower the flag, cut the ribbon, open the supermarket. No legal authority. All my legal authority to prosecute the crime, not to break the law. Okay? So we can get that in our thick heads then, everyone, please. No divine right. Monarch subject to law. My executive authority to prosecute the crime. And I can grant planning permission as well. Okay, so if you want to build a railway and everyone's being awkward and it's my railway in the right place, no, I'm not giving permission for this H2S. But if you want to replace the old beaching lines through Didcot, you can go back to Birmingham again, then yeah, we can do the planning permission. It's presumed anyway, because there's been a railway there before.